Hi there, Serial Trader here. Let's check in with Bitcoin, as it may finally be presenting the kind of entry that I've been waiting for quite a while anyways. So in the last video, I was kind of proposing maybe we had this A, B, and then a truncated C wave that failed to make a new extreme beyond A, and then would be going up in a fifth, or I guess a fifth of some degree, or just an impulse wave of some degree. This overall count, there's a few ways you can make it, but I'm satisfied that we still have a impulse wave of some form to the upside off the bottom here. And that bottom came in at 64.2510, right? On Bitfinex. So what I'm actually kind of seeing here now, just from a pattern recognition standpoint, I mean, this still works, ABC, and then we have this short but still impulsive looking wave to the upside, and now we're coming down in our correction that I was waiting for, and that's fine. But what I actually, let me just get rid of these. Well, actually no, I can leave them. I'm just gonna adjust them. So maybe we actually just had this initial A wave down. This was a three wave move up in B, and now we're coming down in C, in what an overall expanded flat would be the pattern, okay? So you have initial move down in A, and then you have, let me just get the tool out here, and then you have an A, B, C, okay? A, B, C up for B, so you make a new price extreme in three waves, very indicative of an expanded flat. And then you come down in a rather sharp wave C, okay, which makes a new price extreme beyond the termination point of wave A. So that is an expanded flat to a T, okay. So then this may have been, let me just grab another tool here. So this may have been an overall, and let me just put this off to the side there. This may have been an overall wave one up, and let's just bump up the degree one there. So this could be one up, right? This could be two down that we're working right now. I mean, there's no reason to believe it's ended here, but I mean, a possible target would be the previous fourth wave, one lesser degree near its termination point, and that would be around 7,800. And what's some other levels we could look for? We could do a Fibonacci retracement just of this overall, okay, wave one up here. And well, okay, let's just bring it over there a bit. And 50% would come in around 8,100. The 618 would come in around 7,700, okay? And then, I mean, nothing to say you have to go that deep either, but just levels to be looking for. And right around that 50% retracement, I kind of like that. That's probably a good place to look for some reaction. And I mean, it could bounce up any time here, but just some levels to be looking for. And we could also look for the equality relationship if this is well, it's hard to count this wave before it's completed. You might have a 1 down, 2 up, 3 down, and then a 4 or 5, because wave C should unfold in 5 waves on an expanded flat. But we'll have to see. Doesn't look like it's bottomed out here, but it's a good time to be starting to build a position. And also, I'll point out 4-hour RSI is oversold, and I mean, that has just typically been very useful for good entries, for at least bounces. And in this case, I would suspect it'll be more than a bounce. It'll actually be a new impulse wave that'll trend up and exceed the previous highs here that we've been looking at on this short time period. So it could be a considerable opportunity. And definitely liking that 4-hour oversold RSI. Definitely liking the overall structure here. Hang on, let me just bring something up. It's on my other screen. I'll grab you a pattern. Okay, just so I can show you like a textbook version of an expanded flat. okay? Sometimes that's helpful just to really show you the idealized diagram version of something, right? Okay. Okay. Hang on there. Bringing it up right now. Okay. Just shrink my window down. Sorry, bear with me here. I should have probably just brought this up before I made the video, but kind of doing it on the fly. So this is a idealized expanded flat, okay? So you have a move down in A, you come up in 3 waves to make a new price extreme in wave B, and then you come down to 5 waves in wave C. And if I could, let me just really focus in on just the pattern here. Okay. Now, if you look at this, does that look similar to you? It should be quite obvious. Pattern recognition, right? So you have your move down in A 3-wave move up in B to a new price extreme, and now coming down in wave C in what looks like it'll be an impulsive 5 waves down to end, remember? 5 waves can either end or begin a trend. In this case, since it's a corrective pattern I'm working, 5 waves will end the expanded flat of what could possibly be a larger wave 2, okay? And then I'll just get rid of these. We're not going to look that far ahead, but obviously you'd be coming up in wave 3, okay? If that's the case, well up in wave 3 once wave 2 is in place. But I'll just get rid of this Fibonacci stuff here. So this is kind of what I'm working. So I have been starting to build what will likely be a large Bitcoin position. And for a stop, you definitely, now once wave 5 looks like it's complete and starts reversing, you can move your stop up. But for now, I wouldn't want to put my stop any tighter than this extreme down here. Not that I expect to go down there, but that's where it could truly be invalidated, right? So this is definitely a longer term position I'm building here. This isn't a trade I expect to last a few days or something. This could be something more substantial, longer lasting. So on Bitfinex, if this is the exchange you're using, that low that came in at 64.25.10, just below that should be your stop. Now on whatever exchange you're using, there will be an equivalent level on that, which will probably be a little different, but shouldn't be too far off, okay? That should be your initial stop. So keep that in mind when you're building your position. Make sure that wherever you're entering here or down here, if we get there, just anywhere in this range that you're entering, make sure that the amount of money you put in there and the distance we are from that stop there, should you get stopped out, make sure that that's an acceptable loss, okay? And you know what? I want to rephrase it. Make sure it's an acceptable expense, because in trading, I've come to realize you shouldn't even consider a loss to be a loss if you're doing it right. It should just be considered an expense, a necessary expense, because sometimes you will lose when you're wrong, but that just needs to be managed. It's like a business expense, right? It's like having to pay for a lease on a building where you're performing business, or paying the electricity bill. It's just a necessary expense for you to stay in business and make money doing what you're doing. And in this case, the business is trading and making money when the trade works out. And if you do it that way, and you control it so that your losses are small and managed, however frequent or infrequent, that's how you succeed overall and have a positive equity curve, okay? You want your equity curve to have higher highs and higher lows. You don't want to be a boom and bust trader where you have huge spikes, then huge drawdowns. Sometimes you can exceed the spikes, and on it goes. But just getting back to what I was saying, so if you, say you only are willing to risk $2,000, that doesn't mean you only put $2,000 into Bitcoin. It just means that wherever you buy however much worth of Bitcoin to where your stop is, make sure that if you get stopped out, your loss is only going to be $2,000. Okay, that's how it really works with a stop, and you have to make sure that the stop is actually an important technical level where it means something if you get stopped out. Okay, and up until that point, since wave 2 can go as low as 100% of wave 1, if this is a wave 1 and we're coming down in 2, that means that anything up to, on Bitfinex, 64, 25, 10 is an acceptable level to go down. Now, it's not likely we go that low. It's more likely we hit one of these Fibonacci retracement levels, or perhaps the previous fourth wave of one lesser degree near its termination. Okay, and they all kind of come into the same area of high 7s to low 8s, I would say, if you're looking for a range. And not to say we have to go down there, but I'm just starting to scale in, okay? And that's definitely the area I'll be looking for it to find support. And again, a little confidence adder, having that oversold 4-hour RSI. That's always been a nice tool for at least a bounce trade. And again, I think something more substantial here. So Bitcoin, I've been waiting and waiting and waiting very patiently, and here we are. Now it's time to hopefully build a nice position and enjoy a good trade, or possibly a longer term, I don't know if I want to call it investment, but longer term trade. All right, well, we'll certainly stay on top of this Bitcoin, as now I'm involved with it again and getting involved with it more so. Hopefully everyone's having a great Friday. Serial Trader signing off.